because there are a few women characters that you can't hit them. Slappers only. You can't hit Oddjob because you can't see him. Like in my peripheral, where the top of my microphone is right now, it's like
I'd be looking at him like, motherfucker, I'm like Helen Keller in an orgy. You don't know who you're fucking with. Welcome to the Article 1776 podcast. I am Matthew Kicklighter. This is my business partner.
That's late 7. Sorry.
I was like, the fuck are you doing? Like, frozen this shit. You know what, though? You want to know what, though?
What's up?
Your vape thing is almost as versatile as I am with the fucking ATF. Like that smooth little transition, huh? So did you hear what the new ATF pistol brace band is?
I've heard some things on it, and because of what we're getting into, you think I would know a little bit better.
Yeah.
So let's look this up.
Yeah. If you guys aren't well aware.
ATF pistol brace update 2023. This is from the Silencer Shop. This was posted 7 days ago. The Department of Justice (DOJ) submitted its final rule on pistol stabilizing braces to the Federal Register on January 13, 2023. Many are concerned this ruling could turn millions of previously legally owned firearms into NFA-regulated short-barreled rifles (SBRs). And the people that possess these weapons into felons with the stroke of a pen. ATF Rule 2021R-08F called Factoring Criteria for Firearms with Attached Stabilizing Braces is the latest ATF brace rule. It's aimed to clarify if a fire was made, designed, and intended to be fired from your shoulder, effectively classifying those as brace pistols as short-barreled rifles, which are subject to the regulations of the National Firearms Act.
Thank you, Al Capone. Just kidding.
The ATF will not be grandfathering in any braced weapons configurations they deem to circumvent the NFA. It is clarified that the braces themselves are not subject to any sort of ban or regulation, as the agency does not regulate accessories. ATF pistol brace rule does specify that many braced weapons, i.e. firearms with an attached, stabilizing, or pistol brace, may be subject to NFA as they could be SBRs. 08F does not specify what exactly makes a braced weapon an SBR or not, giving the ATF discretion to apply the rule as they see fit to individual examples.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, basically, even if you have a full barrel rifle like mine, I have an 18-inch barrel on my AR.
Hold on.
If you put a brace on it, it makes it an SBR. The ATF could deem it an SBR regardless of the rate of what my barrel is.
So, YouTube, before anything, This is just for educational purposes. Educational purposes, YouTube. See, no mag, nothing in the chamber, right? This is my
No justice beans.
Yeah, this is my Bear Creek Arsenal 18-inch AR-15. As you see here, I got which deems it, the 18-inch deems it obviously not an SBR. It would have
nothing
to be
short about 18 inches.
Yeah, it would have to be
Giggity.
regularly 12 and like at least cut off at least 6 inches of this. It could be properly deemed as an SBR.
Dude, I've seen SBRs with 3-inch barrels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so here's the thing. I would have to have an SOT for that reason. For that reason alone. Throw in the fact of I have a Magpul adjustable stock, not a pistol brace, an adjustable stock. If I have a SBR with this type of buttstock without an SOT, I'd be considered a felon.
Oh,
Now,
okay. So I'm on the actual ATF website. I'm downloading the PDF for the new rule.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. Since I don't have an SOT, but if I do have a pistol...
Shit.
What? If I do have a pistol brace on here instead of a regular adjustable bump stock, then I also be considered a felon. When it has absolutely nothing to do with the trigger fire group. So all these bans are for absolutely nothing, in my opinion.
So what I'm seeing, and this is there's 98 pages to go through. But from what I'm seeing right here, the executive summary provides an overview, a description of this final rule after consideration of the comments received on the NPRM and an overview of the options for persons affected by this rule. Nothing in this rule bans stabilizing braces or the use of stabilizing braces on pistols. However, firearms with an attached brace device may be subject to statutory and regulatory requirements depending on the firearm's objective design features and other factors as discussed in this rule. Furthermore, this rule does not impose any new legal obligations in owners of stabilizing braces at all, as any obligations for these owners result only from the NFA and the GCA. Instead, this rule merely conveys more clearly to the public the objective design features and other factors that indicate a weapon is in fact a firearm or short-barreled rifle under the relevant statutes. The GCA definition of firearm is broad and includes any weapon, including a starter gun, which will or is designed to, or that may be readily converted to, expel a projectile by the action of an explosive. So basically, from what I'm gathering now, is if the rifle does not have a stabilizing brace prior to its or post its manufacturing, it could be, depending on certain statutes, obviously, i.e. barrel length, could turn it into an SBR. So obviously you need to check your state's regulations on barrel length, on minimum barrel length. I can only go up to 16 inches. Basically, I could turn it into a 16-inch SBR just by adding a brace. But don't you think that I could do the same fucking thing if I just shortened the barrel?
Yeah, it has
with my existing 6-post stock, okay? I could turn it into an SBR either way.
It has
And it
nothing
wouldn't be
to do.
classified.
Yeah, shit's crazy. It has nothing to do with the fire control group whatsoever.
The fire control group isn't what makes it a short barrel rifle to begin with.
Yeah.
So I don't. This is all stupid.
Yeah. That's why I say thanks, Al Capone, for fucking it up for the rest of us. Now, do you know what a pistol brace might have been handy with?
What's up?
That fucking balloon.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know a guy.
Oh, yeah. So you hear about the...
You saw that. You
Yeah.
saw that meme going around, right? That was epic. Whoever made that meme, I want to buy that motherfucker a beer.
Yeah. The one the one that he's talking about, I shared a meme with him. I screenshot a meme to him about Kyle Rittenhouse. I know a guy, and that shot down a balloon. Yeah,
I'm sure he did.
I mean, with the
he was out there in Kenosha and just
yeah. So it's like, and I think several I think Tim Kennedy said it too. It's about fucking time you shot it down, Mr. President.
No, fuck him. No, don't give him that.
Well, no, not give him that, but no. Let me finish, because any other person would have shot it down since the first sighting. Since the first sighting, it took Mr. President. By the way that it was stated, it took him forever for it to be shot down.
So here's the thing, and this is something that I wanted to bring up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But let me pull this up first.
So no way in no way or shape or form, or me and the person that quoted it said, "Congratulations, Mr. President, you're shooting down." We're being sarcastic and said, "Finally, you shot the fucking thing down." After taking fucking forever. This shit's crazy.
Okay. This was a giant. This was a giant middle finger to the United States from China.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, China is looking at us and saying, "This is what we're doing, and you're not going to do a fucking thing about it because you can't." You're basically Xi Jinping just basically alerted to the rest of the world that Joe Biden is fucking incompetent.
Yeah.
I will die on this hill. You can fight me in the fucking comments, but Joe Biden is fucking incompetent. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Our government right now, and I'm sorry that you put your fucking life on the line for this government right now. You did it for your people at the request of your government. But as a Marine, what do you think about this?
Well, first off, I didn't do it necessarily for I did it for the people in general. Fuck the government.
Yeah.
Like, first and foremost, I needed to get the fuck out of where I was staying for one. But it's like, for me, people are so blindly into, okay, you voted for him because you still believe in the fact that he is good, yet you're blinded to the fact of what is going on so much because you believe he is so good.
Yeah. So do you know that this balloon that just passed over us was spotted in Montana and wasn't shot down until it had left the coast of North Carolina?
Yeah, as I said, as I was telling somebody earlier, I think it entered through the Pacific and then got closer to the Atlantic.
So China was actually able to command and maneuver this balloon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was able to be directed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it wasn't just kind of like, yeah, they flew it in from the fucking top of Canada, and then it came down through Montana. It went over 5 top secret U.S. military installations.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that fucking balloon got pictures of our Minuteman facilities and our our B2 base in Illinois, where all of the B2s are housed. If they're outside, that's our fault. But basically, China's military is giving us a giant fucking middle finger and is provoking the sleeping giant for retaliation. It wants a reason to retaliate.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they have a reason to retaliate. And honestly, this is not surprising of China. Did you know that China has fully militarized 3 islands in the heavily disputed area of the South China Sea?
Yeah.
They're building it out of nothing. Out of nothing. They built it out of nothing. This fucking has 2 fucking airstrips I can see. I'm looking at a picture right now. It's got 1 airstrip with at least 2 full-size runways.
You want to show it really quick?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Of course I want to.
Share screen.
This is it right here. China is building this and 2 other islands like it. Here's one. There's one I just showed you. That's when it was being built. There's another one. Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing this?
Fucking
China is doing this to provoke us. China is doing this because they're already fucking around in our government. They're already buying up every fucking piece of land they can buy in America. We've basically already been sold to China.
Here's the thing, too. Notice how none of this was prevalent up until Biden was in presidency.
Well, if you look, these were started in 2015, so this was during Obama's bullshit.
Well, he was still vice president, and here's the thing. I mean, acted in this severe type of way until Biden was president.
Yeah.
Or is president.
It's gotten a lot worse.
Yeah. Balloons weren't flown over or anything else like that. We didn't get it. Okay, so we've had hot air balloons in this country for how long?
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that I am no hot air balloon specialist, but any flight attendant, I'm pretty sure with any flight attendee, you would have to request permission to land or give some form of identification as to who you are or what it is. This balloon just flew around freely. And we had for days seen what it looked like, what it possibly is.
This is just this is just a fucking way. Oh my god. Everybody doesn't realize that. A lot of people don't realize this, but the powers that be are setting up wars and proxy wars all over the fucking world. Take a look at Ukraine. Now, I'm not saying that the Ukrainian people's plight isn't immediate or it's a joke or anything. Because obviously there's tens of thousands of innocent people kind of put in the middle of this. 2014 there was a coup in Ukraine funded by the United States.
2001?
14?
No, I haven't heard about this one.
Yep, there was a coup in Ukraine, which is why Zelensky's in the position he's in now. And it was funded by the CIA. So basically, we already have our guy in Ukraine. Okay. He might be Ukrainian. He might speak Ukrainian. He might be doing it for the love of his people, but he's one of ours. Around the same time, Obama's president. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the Biden family, and extensions of the Biden family are doing hella business in Ukraine. Tens of thousands of millions of dollars were shipped in weapons and, financial aid to Ukraine before this whole fucking war started, this whole proxy war started. Now, basically, NATO is in a silent war with Russia. Now we're sending Tiger tanks, Panther tanks. Let's see. I think we've sent over Strikers, APCs, Javelin missile systems, HIMARS systems, to basically fight Russia. The one thing that we don't have is U.S. sanctioned troops on the ground fighting Russians on front line.
Yeah,
and that it's not called a war. Well, it's not called a war for America.
I think it's called more like a cyber awareness.
It's a proxy war.
Proxy war. Here's the thing, is that, and I mentioned this a couple of podcasts back. It's roughly we've been without in our great nation. We've been without war for only 12 years of hundreds of years existence.
16, I think.
16, yeah.
Because we looked over it a couple of weeks ago.
I
think it was 16.
Yeah, so shit's weird, but I know that for our existence, we haven't been without war for a long time. So, and here's the thing. We are necessarily deemed to be the daddy of the whole wars. World War II, we weren't brought in until the very close to the very end, but we fucking made that shit end. He fucking almost. It's the same thing over and over again. So you don't want to get fucking daddy. Don't fucking get daddy, because we will fuck some shit up.
And here's the thing. Don't wake up daddy. That was a game back in the day. Don't wake daddy.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think, and this is just from my personal prerogative, people on the political stance are using war for their own financial gain.
I mean, yeah.
They're using it for their own financial gain. Do we always want to go to war? No, unless we're being provoked or attacked or anything else like that. Like I said, don't wake up daddy. But also on the other side of the spectrum, there are policymakers that are looking at our individuals as a whole as moneymakers for war.
So this is probably something I think I've talked to you about before. War actually is profitable.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you think M&M's was made?
Well, yeah, that too. But so let's take into let's take into totality like World War II.
Yeah.
And you can actually find these facts in a Call of Duty game, Call of Duty World at War. They actually give you these facts. U.S. productivity went up fucking 150 some odd percent. So let's say, okay, the military needs tanks, and this company can make tanks. So we're going to give them billions of dollars to make tanks. So they're going to hire a couple thousand people, more than they already have, to make all these tanks, and people are going to get paid great money, and we're going to have tanks. And that stimulates the economy. We need airplane engines, and this company makes airplane engines, but this company makes the airplanes for the engines. So we're going to set out billions of dollars to these two companies, and they're going to hire people, and those people are going to have jobs, and they're going to make good money, long hours, but good money. It's the war effort. The war effort is profitable, but on the backs of human lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody wants war, but it is profitable for our economy in certain cases. During this last war in Iraq and Afghanistan, it wasn't so much productive because during our off time, if you will, we were building them. There wasn't a need for all these companies to pop up and build tanks and shit. But it sucks. But that's exactly what's happening again.
You want to know? You hear the history about Mars, the company, candy company?
It was. God, I can't remember, but I know it was invented around wartime as like a treat for the soldiers and stuff.
Yeah, like for those of you who don't know, a little interesting fact: Mars, they were getting wind of how some of our troops back in World War II were having trouble eating some of the candy because it had already been melted by the time that they would get there. So what did they do? They put it in a hardened edible shell to where it could be shipped easy and available to eat, and that's how M&Ms were born. That's how literally Mars M&Ms were created.
Melt in your mouth, not in your hands.
Yeah.
Which is actually bullshit.
Yeah.
That's a false claim. They do melt in your hand. On a hot day, M&Ms will melt in your fucking hand, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah. It's like even the good side of stuff, it's profitable inside of underneath war.
Where are all of the military motherfuckers that are in the Pentagon that were like, yo, this fucking thing is where? Let's get rid of it now. Let's get rid of it now. It's over a farm. Who owns that farm? Call that guy, say, hey, we're going to drop this Chinese piece of shit in your property. Here's a couple $100,000 just to kind of deal with the damages. We're going to try to really get it as close as we can. It looks like it's going to land on your property. Here's a couple $100,000. Here's $1 million. Buy yourself a new John Deere. All this shit. Like, why did you fucking wait?
Well, because here's the thing.
It's an incompetent boob.
You're gonna hear this out too. You got to think about the possible ATF charges that might bring about of them, because a lot of them are held. A lot of our fucking rules are held from whatever the fucking ATF, which is restricting upon us Americans to actually lawfully defend our stuff.
Well, I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with the government shooting it down. Like, we couldn't shoot it down. Yeah, what comes up must come down. But if you're hitting it with an explosive payload, you're minimizing a lot of risk.
That's still for our explosive, though. We would still have to fall underneath the ATF to get a proper form of it.
But see, don't you think that this is all just setting up a chain of events that one day our kids could be invaded by China and Russia together?
Sorry, stand corrected. You can still get a cannon, but things of I forgot the name of the explosive ordnance division that you had to use to abide by for that specific thing. Sorry.
What happens if China fucking invades us? That's what happens when you take away all the guns, though. If you stop law-abiding citizens from being able to arm themselves, we're going to get graped.
Yeah. And please try to fucking take my shit. I fucking dog dare you.
I'm not threatening anybody, but it's going to be a very difficult situation.
Well, I'm just being forefront and and honest. Because fucking try. Because I'm okay. And whatever.
We're not Australia.
Yeah, whatever that religion that you are, your own religion, whatever. But I've heard a woman in an interview say that she was asked with the question, what would happen if a robber would try to go into your house, break into your house and he had a gun? And then she said, if it's my day, then it's my day. That's fucking retarded. Because what if a child is in the same place as you and you fucking you got shot so you can't defend your child? Does the robber or person think that, okay, it's a child, I'm not gonna? No, they will do anything by means necessary to get what they want. Same thing with China. Do they give flying?
There was an article I read the other day. A family of 6 was murdered in their home, including a 15-month-old baby.
Yeah. So with that, people in the world like that, what's to say? Okay, you got to protect America just like you protect your own. Well, in some people's cases, better than your own home, because some people would prefer chakras and dildos as protection. And
Fucking dildo cannons.
that's fucking. It's I with
Phallus
some
launchers.
yeah. Was it last time? I heard it saying the meme. Why don't you instead of using guns, why don't you use less less lethal or something like that? When they said someone said, "Oh well, see, last time that a robber tried to break into my home, I tried to flash him a dildo or hit him with a dildo, and then he was traumatized, and I had to pay for his therapy."
No, see, if you try to defend yourself with a giant dildo, you'd be a sex offender.
Yeah,
You'd
get back,
have a
bad
sexual
man.
assault charge.
Get back, bad man.
Cops would go, "Yeah, you hit me with a dildo. That's a sexual assault charge."
That's a clip. That's a clip that we're gonna use for the beginning of the video right there. He hit me with a giant dildo.
That's a sexual assault charge, sir. It was self-defense. Sexually? No, not at all. I can't own a gun. It's California.
Yeah. So you see the new Scar that's out by FN?
California, you can't own a gun, but you can own a 16-inch dildo.
Yeah. You see the new Scar that's out that FN put out?
The little baby scar?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is cute.
Yeah. It looks fun though.
Oh, don't get me wrong. What caliber is it?
I think it's 5.56 or 2.23.
See, I think so. Having shot a heavy scar
Yeah.
before and knowing what that 308 just feels like,
Yeah.
that platform in a 5.56, it would make me feel inadequate.
Well, I've shot one too, and I'm kind of interested to see how it would feel.
Wouldn't it just be like shooting a heftier AR-15?
It could be, like I don't know which way if they're going to take the M4 route or if they're going to be like it could be. There's several different ways that they could go with that. I would have to try it out before making the final judgment.
Look at it this way, though. You've shot many a 5.56.
Yeah.
Okay. If I pick up, or if you pick up your 5.56 and then you pick up my 5.56, there's not much of a difference. Okay. You have like different optics, different setups, and stuff like that. But when it comes to the overall power, I guess recoil factors in, like you can change those things up.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
A 5.56 though, it just feels like a 5.56.
Yeah,
like you know the feel of a 5.56.
I've heard it said before, and the people made great cross points with this. You don't necessarily want to have a scar in as when you're clearing room to room, as so much as to when you want to. Yeah, unless you were to have a something for 5.56 like the AR-15. So I've heard that point quite a few times. It's a pretty good point. There are some situations to when you can carry a smaller scar into a room clearing situation.
Question: You have a multi-caliber AR-15, correct?
Yes, both 2.23 and 5.56.
What do you prefer to shoot mainly?
For me, for just availability, 2.23.
I mean, I feel the same way. Do you think it's any less accurate to have a multi-caliber barrel? that just and bear with me. This is why I say this. You have a barrel that can take 5.56. You have a
Yeah.
firing. You have a a chamber that can take 5.56. It
Yeah.
also takes 2.23. Now there is a little bit of a considerable size difference
Mhm.
when you look at it. When you really look at it between a 5.56 and a 2.23. Do you think that 2.23 has more room inside the barrel to deviate?
A little bit, because not only just that, you got to think about the powder behind in the fucking the round itself, as to where more boom in the 5.56 means that there's more power, there's more pressure inside of there. So yeah, it could deviate a little bit. For me, I would say noise wise, of course, 5.56 does make that boom. But for in terms of performance, I think that 2.23 would deviate a little bit more than what the 5.56 does, of course, because the
I just think
amount
that
of
it has more room in the barrel to just like, articulate just a little bit. But
yeah,
also at
but
the same time, shooting 5.56 kind of makes me nervous just
yeah,
because I know.
here's the thing too. The longer the barrel, the more of the better chances that you have more acquired velocity and accuracy.
Better
Yeah,
stabilization. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I can see that. Do you think do you think it's better to have a multi-caliber upper and barrel as opposed to just having 1.556, 1.223, 1.762?
For me personally, I think it's better. Well, yeah, I think it's better
I'm a
with multi-cal.
7.62 fan myself.
AK, AK guy. Jesus, AK, Brandon, watch out.
I've
He's come.
seen seven. I've seen 7.2. I've seen 7.62 ARs though.
I pretty much prefer multi, because simple fact is that if you have 5.56 around with 2.23, at least you know that you can use both, as to
There's
where,
that.
yeah. So if you shoot with that, you can shoot what's available to you both in 2.23 and 5.56. So if I have, say, like 20, if I have 22.23 rounds with only about like 10 5.56, I will throw in that 10 5.56 along with that 22.23.
Yeah.
I mean, to get the job done.
Yeah, one scenario that was explained to me by a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
He was a he was a grunt. And he told me for effectivity, say you have an opposing force and their general rifle round is 5.56.
Yeah.
Okay. Or 2.23, and you're using 5.56 or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
You have a fallen comrade who either has 5.56 and you need that ammo. In that position, you take the ammo. Because like it's World War III. Obviously, you need that ammo. Your buddy's gone.
Yeah.
He's got 5.56 though.
Yeah.
You've been shooting 2.23 the whole time. It's easier just to click. You've got your extra. If you have an opposing enemy that's shooting 6.5 Creedmoor, which not really a tactical round, you really can't do anything with it. It's just kind of dead ammo at that point.
Yeah, we were taught in SOI school, is that our school of infantry, for those of you who don't know, if you other weapon systems too, like the 7.62 AK-47, if you're in combat and you're bone dry out of your own stuff, but you know that there's an enemy that has an AK-47, you use it in hand-to-hand combat against the enemy. I say
so you can get
hand-to-hand.
AK-47s.
Yeah.
I have a Nintendo Switch that I got for my birthday last year.
Mm-hmm.
And on this Switch, if you're like part of the Nintendo club, You can get like old Super Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm.
You can get old regular Nintendo and Nintendo 64 and Wii games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have the N64 version, and guess what just came back out?
What? Sonic?
GoldenEye. I've been playing GoldenEye on my Switch, and I remember the first time I heard an AK-47 was in GoldenEye. Because I was still a kid when GoldenEye came out, you know? So, like, that... It just... I hated running up against motherfuckers who had that AK-47 in, like, the story modes.
Yeah.
Because you just knew that AK was a ripper.
You know, Demolition Ranch's brother, what's his name?
Drewski.
Operator Drewski? Yeah.
Yep. I've talked to him a couple times.
Operator Drewski is a cool guy. But on the Unsubscribed podcast, Matt Carricker, Demo Ranch, told him that his little brother, Operator Drewski, would have the easiest mods on 007.
Slappers only.
Yeah. I forgot the name of them.
Odd
What
Job.
were the name? Yes.
You get Odd Job because he's low to the crotch. Slappers only. One life to live.
Mm-hmm.
Just go around karate chopping people in their dicks or their hoo-has. Because there are a few women characters. That you can't hit them. Slappers only. You can't hit Odd Job because you can't see him. Like in my peripheral, where the top of my microphone is right now, it's like.
I'd be looking at him like, motherfucker, I'm like Helen Keller in an orgy. You don't know who you're fucking with.
Oh my God. We're so going to get demonetized for that. Oh my, holy shit.
Freedom.
Oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Fucking roll us out. Roll us out. We're done. We're done. Just roll us out.
Guys.
Fucking God.
He's cringing right now as hard as people are scared of freedom. So if you're not scared of freedom, check up article1776.com. Get your clothes of freedom. Get the trigonometry shirt. This is my business partner, Scottsdale 87.
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
This is
I was like watching somebody with special needs eat hot wings. Oh my God.
Sorry, guys.
It's like a train wreck. You couldn't. I can't get away from it. Holy shit! Helen Keller had an orgy. My God.
You love it. So
we're gonna get
link
canceled.
of our link. All our socials are going to be in the link description below. Go to article1776.com. I want to say I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and freedom to fuck on, everyone.
Have a good night, y'all.